Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and thank you for joining me tonight on another session of Talking Sip Saturday night special, where I won't say anything goes, but where things goes. As you can see, the topic of tonight is going to be lessons from KANYE, yay, and how safe are women and children in Jamaica. Uh, we have been discussing this topic for the past week, and that's actually we have been talking about this for some time now. With the advent of the death of the lady called Donna Lee, with the advent of the death of the another young lady also as well, who passed away, and we saw the body in the water, which is very unfortunate. And also we saw the issue regarding the children. You know, there's some bits regarding some children in Jamaica as well who are, at a school called Oberlin. But I think one of the key thing though is about this whole issue regarding safety of women, safety of children. There's a school of thought that is these things are not sort of increasing. But what is increasing is the advent of social media, right? The advent of social media, which has somehow brought this to the fore. Is that the case? Is it that there's no increase, but more there's an increase of social media? You know, in the UK, it is not something which is dissimilar. In the UK, we also have the issue with the safety of women, safety of children as well. And tonight, along with the resident guests, I'll also have from this organization called Serious Safety Security Group, a Mr. Krisha Holmes, who is going to come on and give us some sort of thoughts and some insight into this as well, along with resident guests. We're also going to be touching on the factor of Kanye West. How can someone who is a billionaire one day and based on his utterance becomes a non-billionaire the next day? Was it real billions, or was it stocks, money which is not real? Sometimes they say everything is like projected. Could it be? One don't know. But also, I believe when you're into partnership, could it be when you're into partnership with people, sometimes you've got to watch the words that you utter. Could it be something like that? The words that you utter when you're in partnership, or is it a thing that Kanye West is actually reaching to a point whereby he wants to free himself? Set me free. Set me free, like how Prince changed his name from Prince to, of course, I only can be silent because there was no name for a period of time. Michael Jackson also wanted to change. Many people sometimes find themselves in contract. We got Eternal recently, and other reggae artists is actually saying that they have been scammed or they have not had a fair deal, they have not had a good deal over the years. And they're actually suing some of these companies, some of these organizations that was the person who was there to protect them. Is it that Kanye West is one step ahead? Is it that he's senile? Is it that he has a mental health? Many people say many different things. What's your thoughts? What's your say in the matter? That's something we're going to talk about in the second part. But for the first part, it's going to be talking about the issue with crime and the issue with protection of women in Jamaica, which I believe is very poignant. And I believe that it is something which should be a very interesting topic, not just for the sake of interesting topic, but for the sake of education and also for, what should I say, empowerment, if that's the right way to say it. Yeah. So let me just bring in who I have in the fold now. Who I have in the fold. Yes, that's how Talking Sip goes. Got you in the fold, which is Gary. How are you, man? Can I
Yeah,
can you hear?
I'm good, man. It's good to be the first on the talk and sip. I can't really. I don't know how. I haven't been on talk and sip for a few weeks, well, and it's good to be the first one. Don't know how long I'm going to stay, but you
Well,
know,
well, you,
it's
well, one of the things we're talking sip you is that you've got to have a drink, Gary. I don't know what's a drink here you're gonna have. I mean,
I don't have any. Well, I've got the Holy Spirit, man.
you
Spirit.
got
I've got
you got the
the
spirit.
real. I've got the real thing. The real thing. Rita,
You,
I have the real thing, man. The
you,
real.
you,
I if I put my spirit in any earthly glass, it shatters it. In it.
I like that one. I like that one. Uh, Vita, Vita, say good evening. Hey, Vita, how are you? The spirit.
Yes,
you know.
I've got the
Well,
real spirit, the real thing.
I've got a combination of the spirit and the crystal punch. You know.
Well, it's good that you've got that. I've got the real thing, man. I don't have to put that in a glass. It's in me already, man. It's in me
Well,
already.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome Saturday night to Talk and Sip. And one of the key things is that you've got to have a drink, whether it's the real spirit or the Holy Spirit or whatever spirit, you got to have some spirit. You know
Man,
what I'm trying to say?
that
You got
glass
to
is too big for you, know. That glass, it look like you can't manage that glass there for Tilbert. It look bigger
listen,
than your head. That
listen,
glass it look bigger than your head.
listen. That's art. That's art. You know, that's art. You got to swirl it. You know what I'm saying?
That look like the Atlantic Ocean can swim in that, man.
Atlantic, Atlantic Ocean. Yeah. Well, when you have the spirit in it, you have to have the God in it. So,
The plugging God is here. The
Evening, gentlemen.
hey, hey, Les, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. I'm just in a militant mood, you know.
Hey, it looks like it, man. It looks like it.
What are you
what?
gentlemen drinking?
Well, I'm having, I have evidence of what I'm drinking. I have
Oh,
some wine
oh,
and
wow.
some water. I mean, Gary is saying he's got the Holy Spirit, so
I've got you got Heineken. I've got the Holy Spirit, man.
Yeah.
My spirit is far too strong for glass, you know. Glass can't hold my spirit, man.
um, street. Hold on. Vita. Okay, how does Vita get all these different colors? I can never get these different colors on my thing there. You know what I mean? Street flavor saying blogging God. Street flavor saying not God. It's God. GAD. Which one is more powerful? God. You said GAD, Lester. Is that a disrespect or what?
No, it's it's funny because it's just like if you say boy or girl, right? A lot of people, a lot of people.
You mean like Kanye West calling Pierce Morgan boy, hey
Yeah,
boy, hey
yeah.
boy.
But look here. If me say boy or girl, girl and boy is the patois version of the word girl or boy. It is
Okay.
not a lower term for the person who you are speak to because the derivative of the word is from the English word boy.
The King's English.
Yeah, you know. So people say the God and automatically think say I don't know. But if you say God, which in Jamaica we don't say God, we don't walk around to God. We say God, God Almighty.
Yes, yes.
Right, Gary?
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yes, true.
I don't know.
Still,
Well, yes.
um, I don't know how long I'm going to be with you, but I just wanted to bring this very important part, and it's all to do with security also, with the violence and everything that's happening in Jamaica. I don't know
Mm,
if you saw on Facebook about a young man, Barrett. I think is it Kamar Barrett that
come on.
in Kingston there that got shot. He was a
Oh, the businessman, a businessman.
young guy. I think he's
Oh,
about 20, either 28 or 38 years old. there
The
is
one who went to school to pick up. He couldn't. He did not go to school to pick up his child. Is that the one?
yes,
Okay,
same
carry
one,
on, Gary. Yeah. Uh-huh.
same one, yeah. I mean, I think that there is something going on in Jamaica right now that is out of control. I know that violence has always happened in Jamaica, whether it's to the lesser or to medium extent, whatever, whatever it is. But there is a violence that's going on there now that seems to be out of control, and it's really affecting lives, families. I mean, how can this guy, who is an entrepreneur, a tech guy,
Mhm.
he well, I don't know where they found him, probably on the business premises or somewhere, with a bullet to the head. For what reason?
Wow.
What's going on down there? I think something is happening that is causing people's lives, men and women, husbands, wives, girls. I mean, as you mentioned, what happened a few weeks back, where a girl from, is it Kingston Tech, Les?
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
that's she's had history, but stabbing another girl to death.
Oh, that's his children, the school children there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kingston Technical High School.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, something is going on, Sil and Les, that I don't know if the police, I don't know if the security guy that you're gonna have on later can
Speaking to it.
address or speak
Mm.
into it. Yes, but something. I'm not saying that it's any better here in the United Kingdom or in the United States, because violence there is the same, or if not, probably getting worse. We're not even hearing about what's happening there, to
Yeah.
tell you the
Well,
truth.
well, incidentally, Gary, sorry to cut you. I don't usually like cutting people. There was an advisory put out warning people from the Caribbean to be careful when entering the United States. That don't There's certain places that you're not supposed to go. That, I don't know if you saw it like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
Yes,
You
yes,
Yeah.
know,
I
but
did, I did
what
see.
is funny is that the US is normally the one putting out these advisories. But if we're to really look at like Louisiana, you know, um, the South Carolina, North Carolina, like Louisiana, have 4,000 murders last year, but we
Mm.
don't hear that on the international.
No, we
Yeah,
don't.
it's crazy.
Yes.
It's and if you walk in on the wrong side of town, um, we don't keep Mardi Gras again. We're the city that they keep Mardi Gras in the US again.
Uh,
Um,
New
New,
Orleans. New
New
Orleans.
Orleans.
New Orleans,
Mm.
yeah.
There's certain parts of New Orleans that the police and persons tell you do not go to that side.
Yeah.
Because you will not, like say, you'll be robbed, you will be shot because you're an outsider. This is the
Yeah.
United States of America. This
Yeah,
is
Yeah.
2022. You
yeah.
Mm.
know, I don't know if there's a place in anywhere in the United Kingdom where they tell you that don't go down there or you'll definitely be shot. You'll be robbed or harmed possibly because you're outsider. But I don't know if there's a such a place that you'll, because you're outsider, you'll be killed
Well,
definitely.
well,
No,
there's
there.
still, I mean, there are places, it's just that the police don't want to admit it. What happens is that if they recognize certain individuals from different postcodes,
Mm.
then you could be in problems. But the police will always come out and say that you're free to, you know, to travel or to go over postcode areas. They're not going to tell anybody, because the moment they tell you that, that is giving credence to these gangs, that yes,
Yeah,
you can't go into these
yeah,
areas. So yes, there are places in the UK that,
Yeah.
if you go into them and you are not a face that they recognize, they
yeah.
will harm you.
Well, Noreen Hunt, he says, not only in Louisiana as well, that is happening. The,
Chicago
the
too.
the interesting thing, well, Chicago, that's another thing. The interesting thing someone said, in regard to the young man who recently died, someone said, I know it's been affecting women a lot, but they're killing off the men as well. So even though the topic tonight, as we have seen, the topic which sets out like this, lessons from KANYE and how safe are women and children in Jamaica, it stretches a bit further as to men as well, because men are the, I mean, this child now is growing up without a father, that figure. This wife, I think he's married. This wife is now growing up, is moving forward without a husband, and irrespective of what, because of course many people always start to find reasons or so why it happened. Was it a hit or so? But it is not called for. And the big question that I asked someone earlier today, I don't know if it was you, Lester, or O'Neill, or maybe it was Krishna, was that, is it that crime is on the increase for women and children and people, or is it that social media is recording these things more?
Both of them.
Yeah, I would say both.
Both of them.
Mm,
What?
Both.
More people have access to multimedia now. I don't want to get into the security thing. I just have brush on what you said.
yeah.
More people have devices now. You know,
Mm,
and the prices of devices have come down a bit, so people can access, you know, a tablet or a laptop or something relatively easy. You know, you can get a second-hand one. You
mm.
know, Gary, when cell phone just came in, um, you had black hair at the time when cell phone just came in, right?
Yeah, man. I had more here on my head too. Don't worry.
Yes, yes.
And
Um,
him call me ballad man today, you know. Lester call me ballad. Take off your hat. Take off your backside hat. Take off your hat. When did you get back here? Is that the, hold on, hold on? Is that a wig? You know they're creating wigs now, Gary. They're creating wigs now.
They were paid, you know,
yeah. Remember those big devices? So we
Mm,
couldn't afford it, even when Digicel just entered the market, and even the US when you know Verizon and I don't know the names of the companies in the United Kingdom,
right,
but a lot of people could not afford cell phone.
right,
But
yes,
more players enter the market, technology got easier, so the prices came down. People more access to the devices. What we're
right,
seeing happening now is more persons are putting up cameras, more persons
yes,
are filming things, more persons have dash cams and stuff like that. So a lot more things are being recorded and reported. You
right.
know, like the road accidents in Jamaica. People keep saying, "Lord God, they might kill off one another." We have come from a high of must about 500 a year, you know.
mm,
It never used to recorded. So
Right,
we had something like what 300 now, 390 or they're about now. You know,
right,
mm,
so people, but I'm saying if we ever say when it was when it was
yes,
highest,
yes,
you know, in our highest number was in terms of murders for the year was 1674, 1674. We have not gone anywhere close to that since, but we
mm,
never had cell phones at the time
right,
during that period to
right.
you know to report.
All of that,
But
yes.
what is happening? I'm really going to get on this later, but we're seeing younger people, not younger men, but younger people entering the criminal world and more professionals also. You know, so,
is
but we
it,
talk about that when Kusha come
no,
in.
no, yeah, but is it that they are doing it because they see it as a lucrative career, and it is highly unlikely that they'll be caught?
No, the social media, the Instagram influence,
Uh,
right? Um, like with the rappers, them in and I guess part of UK too with the grime music,
Uh-huh.
grime again,
drill, drill, drill,
drill.
drill.
The,
Yeah.
the thing is, these young rappers live fast, die young,
Mm,
right? Or get rich, live fast, die young. Now, when you see a person executing that type of mindset, get rich, live fast, die young, how can you call that unto yourself? You know,
mm.
it's weird.
It
It's
is. It is. It is.
I don't get it. But there's a rapper 21 Savage. No, NBA young boy. He's 22 or 23. Him have like 10 children.
But Les, the thing about it is that they expect to die, you know. They
Yes.
don't I mean they
Mm.
don't expect to live. They don't expect to live to till 30 and 35 and 40.
No.
So that is why they have children. They have a whole heap of children,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
they make sure they have the
I
money
mean,
because they know they're
Mariah,
gonna
Mariah Carey,
Huh?
Nick
what did you say?
is trying to ensure that he's a guy named Nick Cannon. He's just setting out his legacy. He just has children every day with different women.
Yeah, him got number 12 now.
Yeah, I'm number 12.
Number
Creating a
12 now.
football team.
It's madness, man. I mean, when these children grow up now, whether they're boys or girls, what's going to happen to them? Knowing that their father, when they hear that their father, and the thing about it too is when their fathers are being spoken of, they're not being spoken of as if they did anything wrong. They're immortalized.
You ever hear about a crew in a Jamaica named the Fatherless Crew?
No.
I
Is that women?
Never hear about it?
No.
No.
All right, in a Rima, and I don't know if you know Kingston, but I don't know what part of Jamaica you're from. If
Well,
if you're not if you're
We're
not
from
from
Ocherius. We're from Ocherius.
right?
no, Rima and Jungle and all them places.
What is that? Is that Kingston? Is that downtown?
That is Kingston, man.
Yeah, look wonderful.
Oh, that's down
Down by the waterfront.
well here, son.
Yes.
That is the country of water, yes.
No man.
That's so like Wilmot Perkins sort of laughing there a while ago.
But Gary, Rima, the fatherless crew come from Rima.
Mm.
These young men, all their fathers were gunmen and their fathers were killed violently, and they formed a crew called the Fatherless Crew. You know what happened? This crew came up, had children, and all of their fathers died too. So the grandfather, all the grandfathers died and they formed a crew. All the fathers died and them formed a crew. So nobody in the crew fathers were living.
Right.
Mm.
And I'm like, how me and you for find commonality so our father get killed? I will come together in a kumbaya.
Hold on a second. Let's bring in Mr. Holmes. Sorry, Mr. Holmes.
Okay. Chris
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good night. Good night. UK time. Good afternoon, Jamaica time. Leicester.
Blessing, my brother.
I want to, Lester, can you speak to Mr. Holmes? That's what he's doing.
No, let me introduce my boss, right? So
Yes.
welcome to Talk and Sip, and this is Council Caretaker for the Waterford Division in St. Catherine Portmore, Mr. Krisha Holmes. He's a dedicated son, dedicated entrepreneur, in security fields and other fields also, and he's a man of the people. He's a person who is relentless at having the best for his division and also the best for his staff, always offering training and business opportunities and employment opportunities, never want to shy away from helping somebody, and put his life literally on the line for what he believes in the betterment of Jamaica and the betterment of his family and his surroundings. Welcome to the platform, Krisha Holmes.
And Mr. Holmes, are you drinking something? Are you drinking? I don't know if you're guided to. Have you got something to drink?
I had something earlier. Can I disclose on here?
You can't disclose.
No man, see it, man. Talk and sip, me no boss.
Gary's having his Holy Spirit.
Okay.
Gary's having the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
But listen, I want to thank you so much for coming on with your schedule there and short minute, because I reached out to Lester and a couple other persons to say that based on the topic, which is as we had set out there, which is, and I put it up there, how safe are women and children in Jamaica? And it just was someone to sort of, because you got your company there, which is Serious Safety Security Group. as I put it out there, serious safety security group,
Yes.
is what's your perception and how would you advise persons at this time in the climate of Jamaica? And then another question, which we had asked earlier, but we'll come back again. The question was, is it that crime is on the increase, or is it that social media has made it seem as if it has increased, especially for women and children? So I'll leave it to say how you want to go. We all of us will chip in, sir.
Well, I know you throw me out there now, to talk about the hot topic, crime. I know Lester is the one that set me up, right, with this whole thing about crime. Nobody wants to talk about crime. It's like religion. Nobody wants to talk about religion because I don't want to talk about politics. But crime is the number one issue. Any researcher, you ask any student in any school, any university, to pick a topic that you want to research, and you will hear crime and violence in Jamaica, number one topic that any researcher want to research in Jamaica, because it is the number one problem. Years gone by, when I was doing my research paper, it was crime and violence in Jamaica, right? It's the number one problem, the biggest monster in Jamaica, right? From a statistical perspective, crime has increased over the last 4 years. I mean, you called and you introduced the topic to me, and I was quick to jump to the Jamaica Constabulary website to pull some statistical data website. And what I can find from the data from the website, what I found actually is that there has been an increase. And I can share the data with you. It's right here on the Constabulary Force website. 2019, 1,339 murders in Jamaica. 2020, 1,329. 2021, it went down a little, 1,152. And 2022, we are now in the two. We're going in November. We're at 1,247 murder cases in Jamaica. And after 1,247, 959 is attributed to shooting. 959 is attributed to shooting. So from the data, crime is increasing in Jamaica. So it's not necessarily because social media and more communicative platforms are available that you think that, okay, now that the media is available, it is seemingly being reported. But statistically, from the report, with that crime is increasing in Jamaica.
Right. And especially if we compartmentalize it regarding the topic in question, which is women and children, and with the advent recently of Donnelly and the other young lady named Slick, Lester can guide with the name.
Anika Yata.
Yeah. But also women are also worried. Is there an increase in crime against women? As a matter of fact, come to think about it, growing up in Jamaica, you never hear about gunmen or people killing women and children and grandparents. But now that is seem like a normal thing these days. So how would you?
Well, in terms of women and children, you heard about the case with Sean.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Seem like we're having a little technical.
No, I can hear you. Just keep talking. You keep talking.
Right, in terms of women and children, yes, how crime is affecting women and children in Jamaica. Yes, there has been a crime affecting children and women from data from here, and there's just as you enter their website, you are able to see, you don't have to search, it's right there in front of your face. Over the last decade, 2010 to 2020 data says 15,000 children went missing during that period. They had launched in 2007, I believe that's when Ananda dean went missing, and that's when they really started to zoom in and collecting the data during that period. So crime amongst children has crime amongst women certainly has also increased across Jamaica. We're seeing that it's popping up in the news almost daily. And you know, social scientists and social experts, they are trying to figure out what is causing this increase, Lester, right? What is causing this increase in crime in Jamaica? They have still not yet figured out. The Minister of Education, Honorable Favour Williams, is launching a program in to curtail violence in school. It has not yet launched, so we don't know the success rate of the program, but certainly from a data perspective,
but
it has been increasing over a period. And I believe that's an society, Lester, just 1 second, the indictment on other society, because the figures are there, the figures are there that this thing has been trending, but the relevant authorities and successive governments have not, and I believe have not done enough to look at the analyze the data and to the data, right? We are fail in terms of our analytical skills and how we analyze the data that is right in front of our face.
Let's say you're saying.
Yeah, Christian, may I agree with everything what you said, but from my perspective also, women are being subjected to crime against them more. But from what I am seeing also, it is a result of more women also going or doing criminal activities, also are involved with criminal activities or criminals, right? Because we have seen even in the recent case with the gang from Spanish Town area there, that's before the courts now, one of the leaders, when he was caught at his girlfriend or fiance apartment, this lady was a senior accountant, and some of the funds were being funneled through her and her because she has a legal life. And we are seeing more and more women who are semi-professional, who are professional women also wrapped up in the arms of many of these illicit gangsters. We have seen where women are being arrested, being a part of the lottery scamming, being a part of a criminal enterprise where they are a part of like a car stealing ring or your fandom motorists, and guys jump up. We are seeing more women who are putting themselves now on the front line of crime. So sometimes it is the association also more with women gets them into the firing range of criminal activities. There was a girl from Red Pond that was killed in this year, I think, right? She was with a scammer, and she stole something like $2 or $3 million from him, right? And him hunted her down within 2 days, and he put about 7 shots in her head, So the young lady that was recently buried in Nestor's constituency, that young man killed the whole family.
Roshane?
Yeah, the young lady with her 4 children. But when you look at the whole case, check out the gruesomeness of what happened. She was with somebody who she knew was questionable, right? The whole community knew that he was questionable, right? Because he had a history when he was in Trelawney, So we are seeing more women getting involved. We have seen schoolgirls echoing certain sentiments on TikTok or Instagram that a scammer want, a bad man alone can get me body, and schoolgirls. So for me, I think that how we're fighting crime, it's too broad, it's too on a national basis, right? Now, we have Krisha here, who is a council caretaker, right? Now, imagine if we localize crime fighting. Imagine if we fund crime fighting at a divisional level, at the local government level, right? So just like in America, the mayor responsible for the city and responsible for everything under him, right? So the mayor can talk to the commissioner or the chief of police for that area and say, listen,
Mhm.
your job is on the line. You have to shape up this thing. But we don't have that type of
Yeah.
steer and zone in crime fighting.
Let me bring in. Sorry, Gary, you want to ask a question before I put a question to Krisha? Gary,
No,
you want to ask?
no, you go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Krisha, one question I want to ask you is that if a young lady or so um wanting to get some advice, she's been stalked or she's having these concerns, what as a company like yourself would do in supporting someone of that nature? I think there's a delay for Krisha, but he's going to come in shortly. He's not frozen? Is he frozen? Lester, are you frozen? You're not frozen. Oh,
No.
he's gonna. Okay, he's gonna come back in. I think there was a. Let me see. Are you good?
Yeah, I lost you just now.
You need to start to use the new thing that Elon Musk is using. Elon Musk is creating some new thing, Starlight or Starfire in Jamaica. I had to move away from the flow on the digital. Sorry, Keisha. Can you hear me? Are you hearing me, Keisha? Can you hear?
Repeat that question for me.
Okay, okay, you can hear. The question I ask is that if a young lady or so approach your company, they're being stalked or they're having
Silveron,
issues.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're hearing me. It seems
Yeah,
to
I
be
hear
for
you.
video froze.
If you want to take away the video and maybe the audio can
You're
come out
hearing
better.
action. You said that what is the advice I would give women
Yeah,
or
yeah,
children?
yeah. Women who have issues with security and they're worried. What's your advice to women? If you want to take off the video, because maybe it might make it better for your audio. That's okay. 'Cause I think you got a massive delay there.
That's him now, man. We could go and talk if you
Keep
continue.
keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Keep talking. Are you with us? You just talk. Sorry.
You're coming in a little bit scratchy, so I'm not hearing a complete sentence. I'm trying to
All right. You
make
can
the
hear me
best of
good?
it.
You can hear me, Kusho?
He's not hearing properly. He's not. Um. Let me see what we can do.
You know,
Yeah. No, I'm gonna make a suggestion. I'm gonna make a suggestion. Krisha, can you hear me? Yeah. Can you use your laptop and which we heard earlier, even though the picture didn't come up, but we can do it without the picture because I got a picture here which I can show people that who is the person
I am
talking.
hearing you. Yes, a little.
Yeah, I think maybe you might need to use the laptop because we're having a massive disengagement with the audio. If you can use your laptop, even though it might not come in with the picture. Listen, I'm gonna let you have a chat with Krisha. I'm gonna remove Krisha and you have a chat with him, Lester, okay?
Yeah.
And ask him to use the laptop. Yeah. Okay. Good man. You can just mute yourself, Lester. Yeah. Gary, yeah. I'd want I did a test with him earlier and it was very good with the audio, but so he's gonna try to use the laptop because the audio is more important, if you know what I mean. Um, what was your take with what Lester was actually saying? Because it seemed like why the crime is getting so much now with women is that women are now tapping into different areas. I don't know what people think about that.
Well, okay, put it like this now, Sil. Now,
Mm,
women, I think whether they be mothers or whether it be sisters or girlfriends, they've always known, they've always been in the know of what
mm,
is happening. Yeah. At whatever level or degree of involvement they may have had in times past, but they know exactly what's been going on. I
mm,
believe. I'm
Yeah.
you know, again, what is highlighting all of this is social media. That is
Mm,
that is why all of this thing is being highlighted. So
mm,
it's not so much that you know um that it seems as if they're getting involved now. It seems and it looks and it sounds that it's always been there. It's always
yeah.
been so so I think it's only that now that there's space and there's room now for them to get involved. Some are testing the waters, some are stepping out
Yeah.
and moving into the areas now of becoming verbal, becoming more active, you
Mm,
know. And so because of all that, because of social media, it's highlighting it. But I think that
yeah.
women have always been involved at whatever level. They've always been there.
Yeah. Lester, you spoke to. He's gonna try the laptop. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No, Lester, you're not muted. I'm not muted here. You're not muted. No, you're not muted. Hold on.
To their mic, yes.
Oh, you're unmuted. Okay. You can hear you now.
Yeah.
You had a chat with him, yeah? And
Yeah,
you're gonna
man. Yeah, man.
try the
Me tell
laptop.
them fellow.
Yeah, because we did. Yeah. There's a point though I was thinking, and I think Christian is gonna come back on that, is that a lot of people are also trying to live up to this social media standard, trying to be trying to follow people who are not who they say they are.
We're not even real.
We're not even real. And it's putting them in serious problems in a sense whereby they're trying to match up,
You
you know?
see, social media in my estimation has placed people in positions that they never knew that they would reach. Look at some people who they started out doing something, let's say on Instagram, yeah,
Mm,
and all of a sudden them start get the clicks. All of a sudden them start get the numbers coming in over the little things them doing. Them never know say,
mm,
that they were gonna get the attention. And then you get companies started to come in and then to say advertise for us, do this for us. And that's how some
Yeah.
people earn the money, is because social media has lifted them above the parapet that they never thought that they would go above.
yeah. Let's bring him back. Christian, are you okay now? Are you clear?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Did you go on to Elon Musk Starfire new solar system?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's lawmakers yet. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Now we need it. We need
Let, let,
competition.
let's go back to that point we were talking about regarding crime against women in Jamaica. And
Yes.
I was saying, what would your advice be to women? Because it's not as if to say it's only in Jamaica. In the UK, we had a situation where the police was actually guilty of killing a woman, you know what I mean, at the same time. But women, in a sense, what's your understanding? You said some things to me earlier when we were having private discussions, but
Yeah,
break
I
it
think
down.
Gary was touching on it a little bit, right? I
Mm,
think women, and we have to trace where it's coming from. Why are women now being caught up in the whole crime situation? It is a more, male against male sort of situation. No women are in the middle of everything. And so you have to trace it. Where is it coming from? And I think it's really coming from, as Lester said earlier, we have to fight crime from the local level. I've often said that crime is a household problem.
yeah.
It comes from the household. It's not a national problem. If you treat it from the household level, if the parents parent as they ought to from the household level, women are now being caught up in the whole crime situation because are not doing what they're supposed to do. So women are now stepping up to the plate and have to be independent, to go there and work for what they want. Most of the households in Jamaica, I can say now, are headed by women. And businesses are now headed by women.
Mm,
So what are you seeing? They have an ambition and they are going out there to get what they need to survive. Some of them are overly ambitious, and so greed crept in, and they are trying to get what they want by illicit means, right? By mixing up with the scammers, by having the two baby father, or the two boyfriend, or the two husband. And so when one find out that, okay, she's with another man, etc., something is going to happen. Because if a man is spending his money, right, and taking care of you, and find out that, okay, you're giving, you know, we men, we have to admit it. If in another conversation, we say, man, like get born, but we like give it. So once a man find out, you know, his woman is cheating, then it escalates. He does not know how to deal with it. He internalizes it, right? That's a man cry, which is external reaction of emotion. And he internalizes it. It affects him emotionally, and then he reacts. And the reacts that he reacts of result in a woman being injured or dead. Nobody wants to go to jail, so she go missing. And we have some of those cases right before our courts now. Nobody want to go to jail. Nobody want to live up the same way on social media, right? So she go missing. Nobody, they said nobody, no case.
Except for Vibes Cartel.
Well, nobody.
But him stupidity alone should make him get where him get, you know.
Yes, well, there's some evidence there that they use against him. But if there's
somebody just asked,
no evidence.
Somebody just asked, where can I find the data to support your assertion or belief that most houses are headed by women in Jamaica?
It is there now. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica, right, present this data. They are now doing a census. The census 2022 is now being done, and after that you will see the updated data. But you can go to Statistical Institute of Jamaica and you will see static, right? You can see the data presented there in terms of how many persons in a household, who are the persons in a household, male or female, etc. Who is the breadwinner in the household. The data is there to support.
But Krisha, even without hard data, right? When I go primary school in the 80s, a 53 people in my class, right? 95% of them are the mother alone them live with. And the class beside me are the same thing. High school are the same
Caribbean thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's a Caribbean thing, it's a Jamaican thing, you know?
No.
Right? And so look in the university, look in the schools, you find that there are more females graduating, even law school, there are more females and lawyers and nurses. It's there, the data is there. Nobody can question this data.
Even the labor force.
Right? All right, let's jump a little bit. Let's look at our politics. Who is the backbone of our politics, male or female? Who used to run up and down and doing canvassing and all of this, male or female? Huh? Look at any political party. Who is the backbone of any political party, male or female? Let's talk about it. It's the truth. The data is there, right? I have a security company. And when I do advertisement for training, you find that mostly female sign up for training. Yes, most females sign up for training, and most female want to pay while they want to beg it out.
Let's bring in some comments here. I want to bring in some comments. Very important that I bring in them. The Lifestyle TV said, where can I find the data to support your belief that most houses are headed by women? And what Lester said and what Krisha said is that this is in Statin, the Statistical Institute of Jamaica. Yeah. And Lester, you also allude to the fact that in schools is mostly women. Yeah.
Look at the enrollment in schools, yes.
Yeah. Street Vibes said, simply because our Jamaican women are nurture of crime. And one of the things that we see a lot, and anybody can actually attest to this, when any gunman or anything happening, the demonstration, you mostly see women.
There you go.
Another thing I noticed the other day, and I said it to Lester, did they arrest this lady in pink who was saying to the policeman, saying to the guys in the van back of the police, come out of the
Remember the Central Kingston, man, when they have some men in there was an operation, they had some men in the van back. and the woman was there. Come out to the court. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What is happening?
But you have to understand as well, that these men, they go out there, they hunt, they gather, and they bring it home to these women. And that's how some of them survive, right? So if her boyfriend gets locked up naturally, or a friend not locked up naturally, she's going to defend him. How many of us will not defend our friend when our friend is wrong? How many of us will not, right? It's very few. A lot of us who played hypocritical role and come out there and say, innocent, he never kill nobody, he never do this. I've seen it.
But
Right?
that is exactly what happens here in the UK, and I'm sure that's what happens in America. When for instance, there's a young chap here in Birmingham and Silburn would know about it as well. I'm sure Les would know about this young chap that got stabbed. Now he was a little bad boy himself. But if you listen to when the mother come out and she a ball and a whale and a cow ball and everything, you'd believe that he was a little angel running around the place.
Just a
Which
victim.
of course he was not. He was not. And many of these young chaps, right, who do the crime, they bring them, or let's say they bring the food home so that the mother can pay her bills. Now if he don't do what he does, she can't buy food, she can't pay for the electric, she can't pay for the gas. So when him lock up now, she have to struggle. The very same thing that is happening in Jamaica because of men breeding these women, giving them picnic. They're not at home. She then has to, as you would say, Crystal, has to fend for herself, be the man as well as the woman in the house. Obviously, it's a carbon copy of what's happening in Jamaica. It's happening here in the UK, and I would say happening in the US. And I would dare say also that it's happening right where Les lives, up in the Netherlands, up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let me piggyback on what Christian just said earlier. You see, one of the things is that the crime is local, it's domestic. We don't have we don't have much arbitrary crime, We don't have a man a walk on the road really, and the next man to shoot him just so. Where him not know, right? So it's like you're not going to find a man from Maypen come to Portmore to rob somebody, A man come from Maypen to hurt or injure somebody in Portmore because it's a hit, it's an assignment, you can get money to do it, So but it's still domestic because the hit is coming from somebody that guy know, right? So I don't think we're having a real scientific and a logical study of the crime that's been committed in Jamaica and how to intercept, how to even advance, because crime, and I said this for years, crime is less of a physical problem, more of a social problem. Because if crime is really physical, the poverty level in Jamaica are people who live below the poverty line. What murder rate would that be 4,000 a year? I lie, Metal Christian.
It would have been. Right?
So poverty is not driving the crime. People have domestic issues with each other.
The point here that somebody said a while ago is that not because, and we can answer this one, Gary, as well. Not because a man does not live in the house mean the woman is a breadwinner. Not because the man doesn't live in the house. I think, am I correct to say that what we're actually saying is that being the head of the house is being in the house? It's not about giving woman money.
No, not necessarily. The breadwinner is the person that provides for the house. So the breadwinner doesn't have to live in the house. But the breadwinner can be a gangster out the road, a dan out the road. He can breadwinner for that house because he's providing bread for that house. Does not have to live there. So he's the breadwinner. So when you see the man in the back of the van and the woman say, jump out, maybe he's the breadwinner. You know, understand what I'm saying? Maybe he's the breadwinner. And she cannot afford to lose the breadwinner. Now, we say that crime is also, I said that there's no, you're looking at the data, guide our decision-making process. Okay, we have a household problem. We have a teenage pregnancy problem. And when teenagers get pregnant, what normally happens? They stop going to school. So we have a lack of education problem. And so because the mother don't and the father don't, then chances are the pitney turn up dunce, right? Or grow up dunce as well, right? My people perish because of the lack of knowledge and so. At the Bible, right? And so our society is perishing because there's a lack of knowledge that is a generation issue. It's a generation issue, you know. So government and successive governments should have looked at this issue. Look at the data. What's the trend? What's coming? What's happening? Right? If you look, if you trace the data to when I think the earliest data on the Jamaica Constable Force website was 1962, and you look at crime, it was maybe 100 and something per year, right? At that time, when you look at the family structure used to be different, right? The families were more educated, were more trained, they were more controlled, right? They're more together. But as it break down, a society breakdown and the family breakdown, then we have that problem become prevalent in our society, right? So I was just stressing that while ago, the household problem is not a national problem. It's a household problem, right? But then we also have to figure out what is causing it to be the household problem. So we trace it to the household, but what's causing it to be the household problem, right? And one psychologist, one sociologist, also said that the type of crime that's happening in Jamaica is not a mental health issue, it's a social health issue, right? It's a social health issue. No? People want things, they can't get it, they can't pay the bills, they can't do this, they can't do that, right? And so because of that, it promotes that sort of need to go get it from somewhere. Yeah. If you're in the jungle, you're gonna have to survive, you know. You're going to have to survive one way or another, you're gonna have to survive. And life is about survival. So these people who are not able to get what they want to survive, they basically need to survive, turn to criminal elements, or turn to crime. They turn to can provide it, or they go to somebody, or they go and do it themselves. And so here is a crime. Or they go find out maybe a female, go hook up with a man and get pregnant for him, and in order to get some sort, end up get pregnant, and there comes the problem. So it's a social problem. You're right, Lester. We have a social problem.
I want to ask you a question, Christian. What is it? And I was in the security industry for almost 20 years too. You are at a higher level than I am. Maybe you can provide some answers to me and the audience, the viewing audience. What is it that is driving the need for these young men? And we see young men, 13, 14, 15, 16, is going for the gun, is going for certain things. What is the drive? Because we have been seeing it since the late 90s coming into the 2000s. There's this.
All right. Beautiful question. I call it 50 cent culture. Right? Everybody wants to be 50 cent. Nobody wants to take 50 shots to be 50 cent. So, because time, right, and cable TV became prevalent, Jamaicans would sit down and they watch 50 Cent and they watch Ja Rule and they watch all of these artists on TV and then bling around their neck. And so there is no, okay, I want to get that and I want to get this, but nobody really wants to do the work, the real work, to go get it. The 50 Cent culture. So you're saying what is causing them to do what they are doing? And it is agreed. Social media is a marketing platform. We had that discussion earlier, Silver. It is a marketing platform and it markets a certain perception of wealth, right? So most of it is false, you know, most of it is fake.
So, right? People are actually trying to live up to some expectation and somehow the whole, as
You
you
see
rightly
some
said,
people,
the whole social aspect of it is broken down, whereby
you see some people with the braces. I think it's real braces when it's fake braces. And everything is fake, and the breast is fake, and the bottom is fake, and the hip is fake, and everything is fake, and the ear is fake. It's a fake culture. It promotes a fake belief that perfection is real, that perfection is possible, right? It promotes that, and so everybody want that sort of perfection, right? So they go out there with the greed and try to get it by whatever means. Most of it is illicit means to go get it. They can come back and model and then friend out live on the same road. Or the youth in the same class as him. I say, yeah man, see me, I made this. Bling, bling, bling. That's all they're doing on model for them friend. Right? So everybody wants to be the done. Everybody wants to look good.
More pose the next question to you now, right? Security is a young person field, you know, because you have active and, you know, alert and stuff like that. It's a young older persons are in it, but it's a young person field.
Yes.
You as a security expert and a owner, and you're a politician also, and you know you're a young man in the community, in the world. When you look at all these things that you're talking about, and then you're going to pull employment from the same fabric of society, how do you decipher that? How you sieve it out? How you make the decision to say, all right, this era is a violent prone era, it's a high in violence, but this young man want a job, right? Remember, you don't really know him background based on the paper when bring come here. But how do you then break that down to say, I want this man in my company, but this man could be a potential criminal that I use the guise of a security uniform to hide. But also, how do you then administrate over young men like this young men from the society to be in a security company to provide honest service to prevent crime from a crime-filled society?
So when you recruit, and that's a very good question, when you recruit from inner city or from areas that is taken over with crime, you know, crime prevalent, high risk areas, I won't call any names, but when you recruit from those areas, you're hoping that training will change that person's behavior. You're hoping that when you put that person on a location, that you're not just giving management to that person, because management is just applying a systematic process that is designed to achieve a particular objective. Whether to put a schedule on the wall and say, come to work on that day, that is managed. But you are hoping that leadership will change that person. I have recruited men and women from volatile areas in Kingston. Some of them couldn't read and write, right? And you recruit them, bring them on, train them, and you provide leadership. And they change, you see that sort of change throughout the life cycle of their employment or the tenure of their employment. You see that sort of change. Let them come back to me and say, well, Mr. Holmes, because of you, I look at a young man already. Because everybody tell him, say, I'm a gunman. In fact, he was not allowed to graduate. And I said to him, you're a lawyer. You are a lawyer. Lee was in the conversation. And how he was leading the group, the gang. I said, you're a natural leader. You don't have to be taught leadership skills. You're born with it, right? And he went on to attend university, right? University of West Indies. I went on to represent Jamaica at Washington, right? And when you see him jacket full of badge, and he saw me one day and he said, Krishu, it is because of that conversation that we had in the boardroom. Yeah.
It's
right?
interesting.
That changed my directions. So leadership is necessary.
Yeah. Let me bring in DP, who just calling on WhatsApp. DP, go ahead.
Good evening, and to you and your panel.
Yes, we can hear. You can hear. You can hear.
Turn it up more, Sibram, please.
Yeah. Go ahead, DP. Talking.
Yes. DP here from Lifestyle TV. So I'm in disagreement with a lot of what your main talker talking about tonight, and you see I've expressed them in the chat. Even start with the last part. Like, what's the cost for a gun?
300,000 for P320. About 190 for a Glock.
So so you said part of what is driving it, the crime in Jamaica, is because it's a social thing and because they don't have stuff. So how them get 300,000 for go buy a gun and then not have 300,000 for nothing else?
All right. So Dr. Herbert Gill, anthropologist of the University of West Indies, said that when society rejects, or when family rejects, or when education institution reject our children, gang recruit them, and they give them a gun, and they tell them, say, we love them, or we love you, but you have to do that in order to survive, or we provide that sort of support to you. That's what the anthropologist said. That's what the report said.
Mm.
I'm not an anthropologist, but that's what a professional study said.
That's my opinion.
Repeat what he said, DP.
I believe my opinion, Dr. Herbert Gale is a criminal apologist, gangster apologist. That's what he is. No man, nobody not to come to youth and just give them the gun just so. And tell them about them love them. That's a lie.
All right, Christian, before you answer, DP, most of your life you live in Portland. You don't live in a garrison like me and Christian live in. So you can't tell we about how a garrison run as opposed to when you live in the rural Jamaica. Are two total different dynamics, right? A West Kingston me come from. West Kingston me. No, let me finish.
One second. One
No,
second.
better. You understand some reason. Let's deal with that. In a them community there, you're telling me that the politicians and the police don't know who are those people recruiting these young boys.
But DP,
Let's stop. Hold on. 1 second. Let's stop. Hold on.
1 second, DP.
Watch me. I grew up in Waterford. Entertainer give people gun. Don't give people gun. Don't give people bike. Don't give people car. Don't give people money. Don't give people a certain access to certain living that they were not getting from their parents. Me grew up in a Waterford. Me can admit that. And me can talk that for life. Is what I see, is what I know, right? Is what I experience.
He said Waterford. He said Waterford. He grew up in.
Here, not here.
Oh, which year?
So when I talk, I'm not talking from just an intellectual an anthropologist. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about experience. Right?
Ask him the question again, Selburn. He never heard.
Oh no, sorry. He said, "What year? What year are we talking about?" You're referring to Krisha. What year?
What year?
Yeah.
I'm in Barney, grew up in a Waterford.
He said he born in
1986. Born in 1986. Table string cut there. So I know what I'm talking about.
Selburn,
Yeah.
Selburn, the point I'm trying to get at, every time, just like with normal society, things change and people still trying to think. There was that time, and I hear Dr. Harvey Taylor said this repeatedly on RGR that, listen, he has witnessed him friend them, and I see him here when him grow, with JLP and out gun and PMP and out gun. Majority of the guns right now in Jamaica, a different handing out a go on a issue and a go on. So when Christopher said a while ago, he may witness that 1990 whatever, but that is different. Majority of the gun them now and the youth, them the idiots them who have gun and kill people. I scam my money by them gun there.
No man, hold on, DP. Hold on, Christian. DP, hold on. Before the scammer thing get prevalent, right? And again, me I talk from an informed point of view. And we can call certain people because they're dead now, right? They done for Fletcher's Land at the time, killer. Him recruit a young man, gangs, right? Two of them dead now. Gangs look at me and gangs say, if a fly touch killer, me kill the fly family. Because him say, our old fall Kobe music sleeping, I never have no shoes. The first pair of shoes him get, a killer give a pair of shoes there. The first 100,000 him holding him hand, a killer make him hold it. Him say, killer me daddy. Them are 2 years apart, right? The things that young men will do for dons or entertainers, right? You would be surprised because of the access, as the Christian said, the access that these persons give to them is ridiculous. Remember, you come from a household where a 7 don't want to sleep on one bed. And the dan, yo, you know, you're a good youth, and give him a little house to himself. And him want to sleep on the bed now. So these men now not have no father figure, right? They not have no positive male figure in them life. And the dan say, yo, go over that building, go collect $300,000 for me, right? And your envelope come and take out half of the 300,000 and put it in him hand. Now, when him carry $150,000 and give him mother and say, mommy, see something here. And mommy all start build up a little bit. You understand me? Mommy start Adam, the little brother them start go school better now, wear better shoes and them something there. These in other mindset, other young man there, you know, him go recruit 10 other youth for the done, you know. Right? So I saw the gang them use certain things that hook them because of extortion money, because of the sale of drugs, the sale of copper. So before scamming come in, right? All right, so the thing about politician give man gun, that done long time. Politician not get no money to give man gun like that again.
Is that what you alluded to, Chris Holmes, whereby you said that it's different people that give people gun and everything these days now? In 19, what you sorry, let me just check. Are you still there, DP? DP, are you still there?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
We have to come in.
Okay, Chris, you go on, yeah.
As we move away from move away from, because there was used to be an era when you know it was alleged that politicians gave youth them when they come into guns. Alleged.
He was the issue of gun. No alleged, no.
And watch me as a community leader, right? And a political aspirant. Youth would have come to me, and youth would have said, boy, I'm gonna need this now for go tough up a thing, you know. I think can't go so, you know. The thing can't a little bit and water down, so it have to tough up. I say, what do you mean tough up? And man, I'm with a talk and say, we have to have them on the ends. Right? But not this politician don't give drugs and guns. We give jobs. And Lester can tell you, because every broadcast, Lester get a copy of that broadcast. Jobs, and more jobs. Right? So there was an era when politicians gave. Hold on, 1 second.
One second.
There was an era when politicians give the guns, and there's that era, and we're still in that era where entertainers are financing crime, proceeds from entertainment going towards crime, and that is one of the biggest problems the government of Jamaica is facing right now, where proceeds from entertainment is funding crime. Right? Let's say you know the thing. Get the on the ground like anyone with. Right?
All right, let's pick up.
We're not calling you.
Let's pick up on DP.
And also know that the youth, and just let me close up that point. Right?
Yeah.
Know that some of the youth them start to get involved in scamming. What you find now is that the entertainers not having that sort of influence on them anymore, and that sort of control. Right? Because they get independent through the scamming means, right? So you see the Dan ship where them used to be under, and them used to have to take instruction from a Dan, right? They no longer have to do that. So the crime now multiply, you know, because when the Dan used to say just kill that one man there, and that one man they dead, right? Now there's no Dan. Now there's several Dans. The scammers are now them own Dans, and them kill how them want to kill, and pay for kill how them want to kill. So the problem has multiplied, and that's what we're facing in Jamaica.
DP, go on before we wrap up on this segment.
Yes, Severin, thank you. And again, and thanks, and Holmes actually reached the point that I am trying to say. Majority, because them did stuck in a 19, whichever year is that. Right now, a simple youth, a 15-year-old with a cell phone can chop a line. And if you call 3 person and get 100,000 from them, at 300,000, him can go buy a gun if he wants. Right? I am saying we need to tackle the thing. If we're talking about done in a community again, because yes, let's have Portland, me born and grow. No crime that are Portland. Right? Portland, me born and grow. But we need to nip it from the bud. If we know how many dons you have in a one area, why is it that we just grew up? I grew up and hear them talk about the don for this area and the don for that area. He's known by the politician, he's known by the police, he's known by everybody. Why we keep on recruiting and why we keep on seeing this continuation of young youths falling prey to criminality? And then here the part of me hate Selburn is when the police do them job, or when the government put in SOE or whatever, your society people come out to their hypocritical self, because the whole of them live in a high-rise building and gated community and talk about, is the poor youth, them are lock up. What is the statistic showing? What percentage of rich boys are committing crime and murder in Jamaica?
Can I just pick up on what? Yeah. Can I pick up on what DP said? I put that out to you and Lester and Krisha. If the dons are all known for years and everybody know the dons them, why are they not sorting out the dons? Because it seems like it's a broken recorded tape that keep going over and over again.
All right, I'm gonna take that first. Silburn, you're an attorney, right? Now, if a person has no criminal charges against him, if there's no evidence to link, evidence, me not talk accusation. If there's no evidence to link this person, right, with a criminal activity, can you arrest this person?
No, because you have no evidence against him. Yeah.
No, again, Christopher Dodos Cook does not have a warrant or a criminal activity linked with him directly with evidence to arrest him. Remember, it was the government of the United States of America that wanted Christopher Dodos Cook. And because the Attorney General had to sign a warrant of arrest, is that positively encouraging? The Jamaica government and the police never wanted him.
And why they didn't want him? Because they never had any evidence against him.
Exactly. So if there's
but at the same time, is it that there are crimes that he has in charge of? I don't know. I'm just.
It will be then accusations or allegations. Allegations. But I'm saying an allegation. You can't arrest someone for an allegation. You arrest someone for evidence.
But he's deemed to be a don.
No, but he's deemed to be a businessman.
Okay.
But Silver, Adan is probably anybody that people look up to. Anybody can be a Don. 10 man look up to you.
Well, I like the mafia show. I like Godfather. I like many people call me Don Corleone when I put on my hat.
To answer to DP and Michelle them question and Silburn question. Me live a foreign, right? You say P23 you say 320?
Yeah.
320. Now me I work euro, right? Now so me send 2,000 euro from the ends. These poor ghetto boys now buy a gun. So me I sell drugs or me I make me I sell drugs are foreign. And me can send down $500,000 US or euro from the ends. These poor ghetto boys now have access to buy guns. What they done? Me had the big done a foreign, Me not live in Jamaica, You gonna tell me say me can send money to my friend in Jamaica?
All right.
So me I stay a foreign and me I run the ends. I like Krisha, that one. Them know the man them, right? I know they done them. Sometimes the done is not even in the country. And we have seen that countless amount of times. So not because a man is called a don or an elder, right? That not mean say you have the evidence connecting him with the crime.
Gary's an elder.
Here say can't carry go court.
Yeah, well, which is why the government moved to create
access to funds to buy weapons, right? It's not very difficult to come by. Mr. Man sell copper. Mr. Man sell copper and go buy a gun. Mr. Man work on construction site as laborer. And them get for them pay like a 90, 80, 50,000, $100,000. Mr. Welder get $300,000 and buy a gun.
Why we talk all over the place? Because he come back to the argument of me just a while ago, This excuse when I hear people keep on making that it's the poor youth, them and the whatever, and it's poverty causing them. If you can go find copper and a thief a copper them and sell that and buy stuff where can enhance you. You can switch it. Wash the money then if so. A thief the copper. Why you not go buy some slippers and some marina? You're a laborer. You are swing marker bucket, whatever. Why there is this need for you to go and buy gun? Why?
I think the big question. I think we're go on, Christian, go on.
The gun certainly give you a power, right? And everybody want the power. Everybody want the power.
That's
If
why
you
I
have,
agree with him. So the security
if you
force
have,
them, you come across somebody have gun, shoot and not miss.
you
have
have
one intention you have.
well the gun. You know, when I was told by the trainer that the gun, the purpose of the gun is to destroy anything it is pointed at, right? And the only time you pull your firearm is when you intend to kill or destroy something, right?
So gun is to do the same.
And it's to do the same. So you are correct. But in terms of shooting to kill, right? And that comment to say shooting to kill, it's look here. Nobody, the police is not trained to shoot to injure. Private firearm holders are not trained to shoot to injure. You don't go to the range and you don't see. I cannot recall, and I borrow that phrase. I cannot recall.
I can't recall.
Right?
Is it I can't or I cannot? Is it cannot or I can't?
Can't. But it's the same thing.
That was winding you.
I cannot recall. Yes. Seeing hands and legs on the target.
Yeah.
It's all critical areas.
Center body mass.
So you don't even need to tell. You don't even need, nobody needs to tell firearm holders, private firearm holders and the security forces to shoot to kill. That is how they are trained. The Israelites are that way.
One second. DP, go ahead with your point there.
Final question before me left. I'm asking why then PMP made this big hoorah out of the minister talking to the graduates over the police training college and saying, listen, I hope that your instructor have trained you so well because the boys are out there these days with the weapon of them have. So I hope you're so well trained that when you're shooting, you do not shoot to miss. Why PMP did have such a big issue with that?
Well, the PMP alone, but of course, civil society thought it was an what do you call it now? Unfit statement at the time. And you're trying to reduce murder.
One second. Finish, Christian.
As you're trying to reduce murder, when you're trying to reduce murder, and that statement is made, civil society and other groups will say it's an unfit statement, right? But the training, what I can say is that the training that you get as a firearm holder, right, by JCF, by JDF, by FLA, is shoot to kill. You don't get a training to shoot to injure.
Well,
no, sir, you're wrong. Them don't say shoot to kill. They say to eliminate the threat.
All right. Okay. Well, DP, thanks for the.
Yeah, man, no problem.
DP, before you go, I will wrap up on this one. What do you think is the answer to the crime problem in Jamaica? I'm sure you have said this many times, but what in summing up in a minute, what would you say is the answer, and especially with women?
First, we need to what's the last part?
And against women and children.
The crime overall and against women and children.
Yeah.
I don't understand the children part because I have been trained. I was a cadet growing up, and I've got other training. No, crime against children and women and children against, not them being the perpetrators. Sorry. I think we need to do a psychological study on some of these murders because again, the only way, based on my training, I would hurt a child is if that child is threatening my life. So I can't see how an 8 months old are going to threaten somebody's life. So I think I need to carry out. But in terms of women, and I get flack for this and well for Black and Twitter because of this. Women need to stop doing what they're doing to hurt men. Because hurt people hurt people.
Okay. Okay. I think he didn't finish. I think he's on the Wi-Fi thing there. DP.
I want a DP credit though. I can't send DPs on digital credit, you know.
But it's a
I'm not saying that give a man a right to take a life, but I'm saying, you see, when women go back to the days when them fear men, and this I say reconnect, men, I know why.
No, keep going. We're hearing it now. We lost you earlier. Go on. Lester sent you some credit a while ago. Lester sent you some credit. DP. Okay, we lost him there. He may call back. Before we wrap up, Krisha, let's sort of bring this together now, and the
Yes.
topic, and based on your company, your organization that you have, what do you see as the answer, sir? I was very fascinated when the bit about the Dons, and it was pointed out that Don is a terminology of someone who support and empower the community and men. That doesn't mean to say they are in crime, but people call them Dons.
Mhm.
But at the same time, Krista, you mentioned that different person were handing out guns and you say you can speak on that based on experience and Lester as well. So what do we find as what is the answer then? Since
we
everybody know the
have to, as Leo had started the discussion, we have to take crime fighting from a household, right?
Mm,
We have to approach it. You know, you're putting up the Zozos and the checkpoints, yes, that because it detect and so on and find the guns, etc. Right? But it's our household, and the parents must take some responsibility. School is not the first institution; it is the family. The family is the first institution, right? And if we cannot break the cycle from the house, then it's going to be hard for the teachers to break the cycle in the classroom. It's going to be hard for government to break the cycle in the public, and it's hard for the employers to break the cycle in the private organization. So the cycle has to be broken from home. That's where it starts from home.
but
If
So
go on, Gary. Yeah.
I mean, if I can say this, yeah, because DP, I don't know him, but he said some very profound things there, and especially at the last end when he says that hurt people, and you put it up there, hurt
mhm,
people, and
yeah,
I
Mm,
think at
yes,
the same time, because when an animal is hurt, yes, if an individual approaches the animal and the animal don't know whether he's going to hurt them or save him, but the man wants to help the animal. The
yeah.
dog going to bite, the dog going to bite him. No, no, no. There was something else that he said that I agree with. That women need to stop using men, but I say that in the sense of in my role. In my role in as much as you see when when the natural order has been disrupted, when the natural order has been destroyed, has been modified not to
Mm,
work that way, you you're going to get unexpected results. And because men have 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 negated their responsibilities, and
mhm,
some men have hurt women. I think we've got to say that
mm,
there are some men who have destroyed women, and that is why women to some extent have retaliated. They're beginning to stand up and to do things that they are not, it's not natural for them to do. It's not
yeah.
natural. But because men now, right, are doing what they're not supposed to be doing and have done, then we have this situation. And until, as Chriso has mentioned on this point, until the home, it starts in the house, until the home is addressed. If it's a there have been many one parent families, whether it is
Mm,
the man or the woman, but there have been many successful one parent families But that success has come about when there has been
I
what's the word?
support.
Discipline. There's been discipline in that house. And when the discipline breaks down, when the mother decides to let her son or her daughter just do what they want to do, then she's asking for problems. She's asking the
Mm,
same thing with a father. There've been many fathers who have grown up, who have successfully grown. If I can use the opposite in the sense that
mm,
who have grown successful daughters. None of these daughters have gone out there and done the things that they shouldn't have done because the
yes,
father instilled discipline in the house. It starts
yes,
from the house, from
yes.
the
Uh,
window. It starts from the home.
Thanks for that. Well, Michelle Clark also flagged up this point here that how I see it is everyone have mental disorder. This whole life thing is about trying to make order out of our disorder. And Light Speaker said as well, hurt people. Toxicity can be contagious. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a topic which we won't be able to finish today, and we're going to have to keep going again. I want to thank Krishna for coming on. Krishna, can I just ask you a question? If someone from the diaspora is coming to Jamaica and them want to get some security because them buy a land and them not see no land, and them I wonder what them will get into. Do you support do you have for them?
Our company, Serious Safety Security Services, provides bodyguard service. So if you want a driver, you want a bodyguard, armed or unarmed, we assess the situation, we make a recommendation, and we can provide the service. We are reachable at 237-1779. That's 876-237-1779. And we are also on social media as well.
Okay. Can you stay for the rest of it? We're gonna go on to Kanye West. Can you stay for the next half an hour? Do
Sure.
you want to touch on that? And while you're doing that, I'll just if you just text me. Can you text while we do it? I was gonna say text me your number. I'll put it up there so you can scroll across the screen. Are you in a
Yeah.
position to
I'm
do
gonna,
that?
I'm gonna have to get some charge on this device, right? Or switch device.
Okay. All right. Okay. We don't come again if anything.
Yeah. Let me switch device.
Yeah, no problem. And WhatsApp me the details so I can just put that up as well. Thank you guys for this discussion, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your input into this section here. There's much more to come from it, but I'm sure there's food for thought as well. We have Michelle say, yes, Rev, men have been hurting women for years and women had to deal with it. Now things change. So women are thinking how men thinking and men doing the same now and men can't handle it. Let's shaking his head. Lord, yeah. Nice. Security is needed around those taxis or whatever, whoever kidnapping the woman as well. Well, listen, let's touch on another topic here before we go. There's this gentleman named Kanye West. Oh, somebody say, yeah, Kanye West for president. But let me give the guy the respect that he is. His name is not Kanye West anymore. It is yeah. Okay, and we have heard a lot of the utterances. We've heard about the cancellation, and we have heard again at the same time that he was a billionaire, and then in 2 days' time he stopped being a billionaire. So what's going on there? Let's set the stage, please. Mark you.
Thanks.
I like Kanye West. I set the stage right there. Kanye West is my
Yeah.
boy. You know what I mean?
You see, a lot of persons now in the diaspora, well, in the Caribbean and Jamaica, are just getting on to Kanye since he has been with Kim Kardashian. You know, but a lot of people don't know the history where Kanye is coming from. Kanye is the type of person that he, similar to me, I would say the things that everybody is thinking or everybody sits on their veranda and whisper about. Everybody's grumbling and mumbling about. Take the Taylor Swift incident at the Grammys when Taylor Swift won the best video of the year or best song of the year award, I think, that year, when Beyonce clearly should have won that award, right? And he went up on stage, right, and said, "Listen, this is not right. Beyonce should have won, not Taylor Swift. Now, persons are saying that that wasn't the place for him to do it. He should have done it like after the Grammys where they're interviewing. But I'm saying if the injustice was done on the grand stage, the correction should be done on the grand stage. You know? So just because something has never been done before, that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be addressed. So Kanye has always, so what Kanye is doing now is not new. He has always been like this. What we're seeing now is that like everything that Kanye is doing now is something that when he was poor in Chicago, he was saying that he's going to be heights of fashion. He might have his own shoe line. He might go do multiple business. He might be the biggest producer in the world. You know, uh, all of that, and it manifested. What Kanye has done, even with the whole Trump thing, wearing the MAGA hat and supporting Trump, Kanye has that's not gunshot, okay? If you hear the sound, that's not gunshot. It's fireworks.
No, it's fireworks. Yeah, we have it over here as well. Yeah, fireworks.
Fireworks.
Everybody play with Duppy tonight.
Yeah, but the thing, Silburn, is that Ye has done so much things on all spheres of life, right? Is that it is unprecedented for a black man to be doing these things in these specific markets. Now, what he is saying is that, listen, I have done this and done it well. If we get some other like-minded, like race people, like other black people, to say, hey, we could go over here, so go create our own platform, we could create our own, network and do like what the white guys are doing, right? Now, that's what he wants. But he's also saying, hey, don't keep sucking the milk, the breast milk or the crumbs from these Jewish guys because they're profiting from our pain. These Jewish media guys will sign an artist that is singing the most violent song about women and men, talking about and promoting the taking of drugs, hard drugs, and they would blow up that rapper to the highest level. But when you have a positive young black rapper come on the scene, right, he won't get the same amount of funding behind him because guess what? There's an agenda there. Now, let me tell you something. All of these rappers, that sign to these big labels, they are insured. All the label them insure them. So when a rapper dies, the label collect at least $25 million off of them.
Can I stop you right there? Because I'm seeing some similarity in two things. I was listening to some basketballers and they were talking about, somebody was saying basketballers are owned by what they call the owners.
The owners yeah. I'm here to talk, man.
Yeah, the owners. And then the owners actually they need permission to go to other plantations. Only thing is that they're paid. And I hear you now that they're insuring
the rappers.
Yeah. And it remind me in chattels with our four parents, they were being insured as well.
By the Netherlands.
Huh?
By the Netherlands. The Netherlands started that.
There we go. What's going on? I mean, is it that I keep saying to people all the while now, don't get caught up in the noise. Listen to something deep where Kanye West is coming from.
But before we continue the Kanye West, right?
Yeah.
When they go on a production work floor, the format of a production work floor is rows, right? Right?
Mm. Yeah.
How does a plantation look? The same rows.
Yeah.
So that them just transfer it.
Mm.
Right? Now, what I'm saying is that Kanye wants to open our eyes and say, listen, we are being used for too long. Right? Now, he's been canceled because he has made so-called anti-Semitic statements, right?
Yeah.
Now, let us look at America, where the First Amendment is freedom of speech, right? But the Second Amendment, one of the two. What I'm saying,
somebody want to repeat something, but say what you're saying and repeat it after about the roles.
Oh, okay. Now, if Kanye has the freedom of speech and the freedom of choice is a democratic country, why can't he as a black man support Donald Trump? Why people are gonna say you can't support Donald Trump because you're black, but yet still we live in a democracy, right?
Listen,
So-
I was even unfamiliarized. Family reject me when I said I supported Trump.
You know, me have a Make America Great Again cap. You know that, right? Me in a rather than in a train station, and you approach me, yo, I'm take that off. Me say you have got to take off my head. Who you tell me to take off my cap? Me not get you. Go about your business. You know, but what I'm saying is that we can't want two different things at the same time, right?
Yeah.
That is it. Now, let me say something to you. We have always stood by, our race has always stood by and watched they kill our leaders, right? We've always did that. We have never, ever revolt. We have never said, this is enough, right? When they went into Alabama, Tulsa, Alabama, and burned down the whole place, right? And killed about 2,000 black people. What was the rest of the black population's response to that? They did that in Florida also, where they burned a whole black village. So these are some of the things that I'm saying that what they're doing now, that Kanye West said slavery must be a choice because after 400 years, it's like you give up and you start to accept it. When we look at other races, them enslaved poor white people too, them enslaved Chinese, them enslaved Japanese, them enslaved the Indians, them. All of these races rejected slavery. The Indians then lie down on the platform and on the plantation and then beat them to sickness. They wouldn't work. So they stopped using Indians. What I'm saying is that when he said that, the Jews didn't cancel him. So if you're upset about racial comments, it should be racial comments about anybody. But when he said it against their race, right, them start canceling. And the black people them start canceling too.
How does black people cancel Kanye West?
Well, we see Jay-Z a puller from him. We see many of the black associates that him have a puller from him. He has Yeezy's sports, and then put the black NFL players and basketball players a pull out of the deal and stuff like that.
Krisha, can you hear us, Krisha?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I was waiting. You haven't sent me the number yet, you know, the details. But anyway, what's your take on Kanye West? Is he a lady named Carrie Jackson said he's crazy and he's a danger. But Carrie says she don't like him, so maybe that's the reason why. What's your take on Kanye West?
Well, what he said, that he's the richest 36-year-old black man. He's the richest one. That's what he said as well.
Yeah.
He has reached a point in his life that he's talking his mind. He's saying what he believes. Right? There are some points in your life that at some point when you reach a certain level in your life, you are now free to speak without fear, of that society might ostracize you. Right? So I think that is where he has reached in his life. He have the wealth, he have everything. So he's now talking the things that he wanted to talk for years. I think some of these things that he's saying, that he has said, are things that he wanted to say years ago.
Yeah, let me see if Gary, your last word. I know you got to leave, Gary.
Yeah. Well, I think yeah, or yay. Yeah. I think. He said some things in the past, and I think that is what is shrouding him. That's what I think is kind of people are judging him not on what he has said probably immediately, but of what they've joined up the dots, so they're trying to fade him out. But it's a pity that within 2 minutes, he's dropped from a billionaire status to a millionaire. I wish I still had $1 million of what he has.
But Gary, look at this, right? Okay, they say that he has said some stuff. Remember, said. Let us look at what he has done, right?
Right.
Has he harmed, like physically harmed anyone? Has he used his power to oppress anyone, any race?
No.
right? No. Let us look at certain persons like Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey
yeah.
Epstein, these people who have done hurt to people. Harvey Weinstein and his brother and other people, they have hurt a lot of actresses, traumatized them sexually and otherwise, right? Although Weinstein lost in freedom and company and whatever, if the company carries on same way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You didn't see an outpouring of Jews pulling away from him. You never see that. We have seen over the years where many Jewish men or many white men in America has done stuff. Like Donald Sterling that owned the LA Clippers. He made racial comments. What happened to him? He lost the franchise. But did he stop being a billionaire? So come on weird when people say, like Kari said, him dangerous. Now, Donald Sterling was saying racial things. Him own a basketball team where 90% of the player them, him employees were black. He had to sell the team. Got about $2 billion for the team. But he didn't lose his status. He went on to do other businesses. The owner of Phoenix Suns was recorded using the N-word. He's going to sell the Phoenix Suns also now, but he's going to still remain a billionaire.
But we know it's a black thing, you know. It's a black thing. It's a color thing.
But when person say Kanye is dangerous, I'm saying let's just look at what other person has done. Not about say, but done, and they have not lost their status.
Yeah.
So how are we saying that this man is dangerous, right? Now, when you look at Kanye, look at Gap, him look at Dolce and Gabbana, him look at Adidas and say, hey, I have brought you guys profit. I have brought you guys crazy profit. Him single-handedly turn around Adidas. Adidas was failing. Him turn around Adidas. He said, I'm from Chicago. Let us bring some factories into Chicago. Huge factories, so we employ these youths. So the youth them down upon the corner shoot one another. So we give them something active to do. Gap don't have a store in Atlanta. How come a brand like Gap don't have a store in Atlanta? Him say, let us bring some stores to Atlanta so we can employ some of my people. So when people are going to say Kanye don't do nothing for black people, I'm hurting black people, that's not true. Him said, look, you know, stop buying jewelry, stop buying Rolls Royce, stop buying Ferrari, buy land.
Buy land. I remember when he said that, and he started to educate and say buy lands as well. You know, my view, Gary. I don't want to keep you, Gary. You can fade out when you.
Listen, you guys take care. Let blogger, peace.
No, and a piece.
All right. Live all right, yeah.
No.
All right, Christoph, you take care, and
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. The thing about Kanye West for me personally is that I've always adopted a policy, and nobody will ever see me coming on social media, fighting down a brother publicly or tearing down any black brothers or black sisters. If I have an issue with them or so, I'm not going to bring it publicly. You won't hear me say anything unless a person like a Rushane who killed all those the 4 children. And okay, Krisha, I don't know, crazy sounds coming from your side there. Some not a distortion sound. The killing of the 4 children and the mother by the guy named Rushane. Of course, you can say very terrible things about him and say, boy, you know. But generally speaking, other than that, I'm not the one who's going to tear down a black brother. That's my philosophy. And I'm not the one who's going to say that he's mad. Because when I say that he's mad, it's like I'm saying that, hang on a second, did I have a psychoanalysis of him or something like that? Or am I? And where did I hear that he's mad? I heard that he's mad or so from some newspaper or some from clippings. that's where we're getting all this information from. We're getting it from the same white media. I keep saying all the while, stop being spooked, stop being woke at the same time. You know, support each other as much as we can. That doesn't mean to say we support every single thing that each other say, but look at the bigger picture. Because of course, you know, he's a billionaire, and they said he lost by his utterance. He became a millionaire, 400 million. Well, how many of us have that? Many of us who are I call people who are these armchair or fingertip as persons who assess persons and judge persons. All the pages I say on now is give me a break. You know, I'm not going to crucify the guy. I'm not
But
woke.
Silbert,
You know?
look at
Yeah.
Krisha, right?
Krisha.
Krisha is running in a division that is seemed to be predominantly People's National Party supporters, and people say Krisha mad. So should we write off Krisha? I met Krisha.
I'm a madman, of course. I think our politicians are mentally ill, though.
But
I think
Krisha,
we have.
hold on.
I think all of us do. Seriously.
Krisha, if Krisha is to
Hold on. I got to stop there. I need to get this right. Krisha, I'm going to ask you to come back in because there's a crazy noise there from your side. You have a fan on or something like that?
You have a fan on?
No. Place is very quiet.
Something like crumpler, like in the feet or the Yavana.
Come back in. Come back in.
Right.
Come back in. Yeah. Lester, you're saying, yeah.
Yeah. I don't want Krisha hear this, but when you look at Krisha's journey over the last 3 years in
or
politics,
his CV or his resume.
No. I'm talking his journey, the things that has happened to Krisha, right?
Yes.
He should not be in politics representing anybody. He should be somewhere in North America, right? Or somewhere in Europe, where it is far from Jamaica and the happenings, right? He has had his family attacked. I'm not talking just attack, but I mean like murdered.
Yes.
And him still go to the same community every day and represent the people. And many Jamaica Labour Party persons say him mad, him for go foreign, him for cut. But he is still there, dedicated and working. Are we gonna say he's mad? He's still trying to inspire and motivate young people to do better in life. And that's all I see KANYE is doing. So are we going to write off Krisha to stay in Waterford and trying to help people, trying to represent people and say mad?
Well, listen, I've been written off because I'm a member of the Conservative Party in the UK. The average black community in the UK sees me as anti anti to a certain way. I say to people all the while that within the UK, I'm not supported a lot by the black typical community because I'm conservative. Yeah. And I always say to them all the while, that's your problem. If you got a problem with that, I'm supported by my family and my mother, my father, my late father. But the point about it is that we have got to know who we are, because even like in the UK now, I keep saying to people all in the UK now that all our children that we have in this country are not going to go back to, I wouldn't say go back because they're not from. They're not going to go to Jamaica. They're not going to go to the Caribbean. This is their country where they live in. And we're seeing in the political dimension here in the UK, whereby even in the same Conservative Party has given us a black chancellor, has given us an Asian, prime minister. And what it is actually saying is that the names that we are seeing are all changing. So everybody that I speak to these days is saying, A, get your children involved in politics. Get them involved in Conservative. Get them involved in Labour. Get them involved with SNP or whatever like that. And if anybody wants to reach out to the Labour Party and ask me for direction, I can direct them, because my good councillors in this area are Labour. My MP is a Labour MP. They all know I'm a Conservative. And anybody, so I can say that point blank, that I'm not supported a lot by the average black community in the UK, because to be a conservative, that is totally against the black order. And this is the whole thing which is creating a problem. While the Jews are in every political dimension, parties, while the Asians are in every political parties, making sure that they are straightened, making sure that they are positioned properly. But we have missed the boat. And it's the same thing what I'm seeing with Kanye West now. We have missed the boat whereby we are ripping each other apart, while the others are looking and say, we are keeping them where they are. Somebody sent me today a breakdown of academics and students in the UK. Asians, Chinese, blacks are all the way to the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. Africans actually are even more at a higher level than the Black Caribbean. We have missed the mark, and that is something that I keep saying all the while. Let's wise up and let's grow up and get away from this thing and support each other.
Yeah, but you see, Silburn, back to Kanye, right? When you look at Donda Academy, he has a school.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at 95% of the entertainers that he has given a platform and turned into multi-millionaires are black men and black women, right? When you look at even our own Shensia from Jamaica has 2 songs on his Grammy-nominated album.
Oh yes, I like that song.
Right?
Yeah.
So when we as Caribbean people or black people are saying derogatory things about Kanye, right? And I'm saying Kanye has led by example. He has a 2,000-acre ranch in Wyoming, right? He's one of the largest farmers in Wyoming as a black man, right? And he's saying, hey, let us come together, create platforms, right?
Yes.
You have this this company, SKG, right?
Yes.
It is George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, and somebody else. 3 big movie directors come together and form a studio, right? And they're, especially in the animation realm, they're killing it.
Yes.
Now, what I'm saying is that he's saying that me, Oprah, Tyler Perry, Jay-Z can come together and we can form our own big conglomerate, right? We don't need to go on these white guys' platform, these Jewish guy platform, right? We have everything here. Now, you see, a lot of us talk about, a lot of the rappers and people talk about them pro-black and them love black people, right? Now, Nigeria makes cars. Nigeria is one of 7 African nations that make cars. Which rapper you see buy a Nigerian car? But then buy a European-made cars.
Bentley and
Rolls Royce and Ferrari and BMW and these things. I'm saying, if you're truly supporting black, right, go over to Nigeria, go over to other African countries, buy some black high-end cars over there and carry it over. You understand me?
Lester, there's still I want to jump in here. There's still an anti-black agenda. It is sad to say, but there's still an anti-black agenda, right? When you look at why people are bleaching, there must be a reason why they're bleaching. They are not respected because they are black. They are not accepted because they are black. They are not seen pretty because they are black. We grew up to hear, look upon a pretty brown girl, look upon a brown skin girl. But you didn't really hear, look at that beautiful black girl, right?
Yeah.
But you hear pretty and brown in the same sentence, right? And
if you're black girl, you're pretty. If you're black girl, you're pretty.
For a black girl, you're pretty, right?
Right.
And so when you look at even the movies that they're making, oftentimes the bad guy is the black guy, right? So you question whether there's still an anti-black agenda, right, leading the world, right? If a black man owns a business and a white man owns a business at the same exact business, they're selling the same exact product at the same exact price, and you go into the white man's store, you will respect his policies. And if you're going to the black man's store, you want to ask him for a discount, and you want to treat him goods and stuff any way you want to. It's like you don't respect him because he's black. I'm not supposed to own anything because he's black.
What right? I'm doing here, keep talking. What I'm doing is just somebody asked me, they never knew that cars were made in Africa. So I'm just showcasing that while they're talking.
So even in leadership overall, when you have high complexion and you're in leadership position, people see you as a better leader, right? You might not have more education because you have high complexion, but because your complexion is higher, it is seen paramount to the black person with more experience and more qualification, right? A white person, a black person go to an interview and they want a receptionist or a telephone operator. They see the white person as more approachable, right, for their front office. It's happening right across. So there is an anti-black
Listen,
agenda.
can I just say this as well? You got black organizations, black companies, and they choose to say they put a white person at the front, right? To sort of open the doors. It does happen, and it does happen still right here in the UK. Many people sometimes say to me, why don't I pitch my show to BBC or to LWT or these white media? And I said, why should I do that? And everybody that says to me, our black people say that to me. And I say, we missed the point. What you guys should be doing is come and say, let's pull something together and build our own thing. You know, it's just like, because Kanye West had a discussion with Sway, when Sway said to him, why don't you get rid of those guys and put Yeezy by yourself and distribute to yourself? And Kanye said, I can't do it. And they asked him recently, and Kanye West said, Sway was right. Sway was right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
But Christian, again, as I said, I was in the security industry. I was at a particular company name. I won't call the company name. One of the larger companies, and they had a contract at NCB Towers. I don't think they're longer. And where the Ministry of Security building offices are. Walk into the lobby. It is the security who is the reception, right? It is always a young female. I wanted to something.
Let me give you a joke. I give you a joke. There was a particular minister at the Ministry of Education, and while I was a security officer, I used
come on. How many ministers of education you have? You understand? So everybody's starting to go through them brain now. Carry on, Christian.
And I was supervisor, right? And I had two, beautiful, dark-skinned women in uniform there, and they used to have a little problem. And I put two nice brown skin, nice in his mind, brown skin female there in jacket, and every morning he bring chocolate and sweet for them, right? So you see the difference in treatment. I had a problem with that, right? But I figure out what the solution, right? And to appease the minister, you put the people there, and it's quite comfortable, right? So and even in our politics, Lester, even in our politics, the browner the leader is. Man, it was very low.
I'm just a bystander.
Yeah, man, it was very. My grandmother admired Manley because of his eyes and his complexion, and she talk a lot about
my grandmother.
We have to feed the people fundamentally for the first time at last.
Nobody knows that man, not even my grandfather that she married and had how many children for. Nobody not nice had a Manley toward this person is a Manley, right? Because of course complexion, right? So even in leadership in our politics, complexion matters, right? I remember at one point they were trying to make the former leader of PMP to look attractive, and they were putting up some social media picture of him, and they would spruce up him complexion and make him lip look a bit more pinkish, right? And so on to match up with recently in our politics. So the anti-black agenda is alive and well, and it is even being pushed by same black people.
And listen, I know you're gonna cry when I put that up picture. I don't know if Krishna was able to see because he's on the phone. I just put a picture of Michael Manley a while ago. but anyway,
Krishna, do you think the popular prime minister has to do complexion?
I think partly so, yes.
Really?
I think partly so. And I think
Portia was popular.
if you were to put if you were to put a percentage to say rate the prime minister because of his complexion, because of his build, because of his height, right? In terms of his build, right? A lot of women in Jamaica are attracted to his build. I remember there was a picture with him in his shorts, and he was picking up something.
At the market.
I remember
at the market.
At the market, and the picture go viral, right?
Viral
because of the thing that Prime Minister was sex appeal because of right. So that picture, right? So yes, in complexion is one, but he has other elements that he has brought to the table to make him attractive as our current Prime Minister.
Well, obviously, before we wrap up, it is very clear that as a people, we really need to, as Carrie Jackson just said, can we just get along, please? So, so Carrie, I presume, is going to be very open to Kanye West, and see through it all what are some of the traits of him. Kanye West said something as well, which I've been going around, which is saying he's not controlled, right? That's what it is. He's not controlled, and I think that is something which is very important, because a lot of persons are controlled. And the bit that marveled me, Lester, what you said is that rap artists are all insured. And that insurance bit there put me in line back to the old slavery mentality, except that they are paid. My guy there from who they were trying to cancel, David Chappelle spoke very eloquently about the time when he was the David Chappelle show and he wasn't paid and he walked off the show. He can't use his name, he said, for a period of time.
Yeah.
Right? Michael Jackson had issues. Prince had to call himself nothing for a period of time. Symbol. So what Kanye West is doing actually, and I was speaking to someone today earlier, and they said he may sound like he's erratic or whatever, but deep down, I think he know what he's doing. Let him take him for a fool. Let him take him for an idiot.
But you see, even with the whole Prince thing, right? Prince had the deal that Prince had with Universal Records, right? Is that he is a producer, he is the publisher, so he owns everything. So what Universal do is distribute. So they don't own any of him publishing, and that was an issue for the record company because he was informing. Like Alicia Keys went to him to do a song with him at the height of Prince's career, and at the height of her career, and him said to her, him said, "Do you own your masters?" She said, "No." Him said, "Come back to me when you own your masters." Right? No, I could look on it. I'll tell you that there are specific names. I was talking to Vita about this also. When you look at golf, it's called the Masters. But golf was before Tiger Woods. Golf was an all-white sport. Not only that, you had golf courses that for over 100 years, no black man has set foot in these golf courses, golf clubs in America until Tiger Woods. They had to change some of the bylaws of the golf courses to allow Tiger to come there and play. But guess what? These white people saw Tiger as a business. So if they didn't see the value in terms of money, right? Because of how good he was, they wouldn't allow him there. But when you look at overall, as a community, as a race, even as Jamaicans, right? We're afraid to do business with each other. But if a white man come, right, we're willing to give that white man who we don't know who money to invest in. This is happening still.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, Light Speaker, Lester, Keisha, I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. That's a wrap up time. I think we're going to keep going on this. But ladies and gentlemen, listen, before I go, if you're coming to Jamaica from the Diaspora and you want to get some special security, if you buy land in Jamaica and the land is not there, you're not sure where I'm going, and you want to make sure that you're going in safe arms, you can contact Creature Homes of Serious Safety Security Services, 876, and there's a business logo there. Oh, not that one. That's it done. Zero Safety and Security Group. There we are. And I want to thank you, Krisha, for coming on tonight as well, and for being a part of the discussion. Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
could you turn on the music just a little bit, please?
Yeah,
I want to
please.
ask Krisha.
Okay.
Krisha,
Yes.
Krisha, in 40 seconds, can you give us a rundown and a projection of the division, Waterford division, and what you have planned for it and stuff? And like, just give us a rundown of what over the last few years and what you have planned coming.
As a young, aspiring politician to be prime minister one day.
You be careful what you say, you know. It might come true. I've been campaigning since 2016, straight out of G2K as vice chair and into the division as the chairman for the division since 2016. I have been able to create and provide over 300 and something jobs. I think we are 380 jobs now in the division, as jobs as far as accounting jobs as well in the division, and do some startup businesses as well. So we have accomplished a lot. We have done a lot of projects in terms of drain cleaning, debushing of areas, road patching and road repairs, rehabilitation of some of the spaces in the community. We have done a lot of that work as well as a caretaker. What I'm hoping to achieve in Waterford is to bring back the peace in Waterford, right? To bring back the peace. And one of the hallmark of what I want to achieve, Lester, I think you want to do that as well, is to bring back our corner league football competition in Waterford. That is at the center of what I want to do, and then we can work around that in bringing back the community center and all the other activities in Waterford. 40 seconds.
All right, good stuff. All right, well, I want to wish you all the best. Thank you so much, and for your work and for your service to the nation of Jamaica. And as a young man, as Lester said, you could have left Jamaica and go about your business, but you are very keen in building Jamaica for a better place. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care of yourself. All the best, Lester.
All right. Thank you very much. Good night.
Hold on, you can't leave yet. We still have people just stuck.
We're going to play the national the party anthem next. Lester, you're going to put you on the party conference coming up on the 20th.
Rita, you can mash up the show now when people want to go.
I have to counsel and show my respect. Okay?
You show your,
and I have
you
to
your
come
respect.
on and tell my baby, baby, how much I love him. So I have to do that on the year. Love
Yes. Well, Krisha, at this time we sort of just get down a bit, you know what I mean?
Krisha, I catch you at Krisha. I catch you at
Have you ever had to catch it sideways, you know what I mean? You don't know where your hat is.
Krisha, you know the hat? Come on, Krisha, you must have a hat, man. We can catch one side.
Let me go from the
hat.
Listen, soon as I come on the show, Alex calling me. What Alex calling me for?
Where's the Lester?
Lester?
Where's the Lester?
Lester!
Yeah.
Look here. I cannot keep a green hat in peace, right? I can't keep a green hat. I have this one.
I gotta get my bro got hot.
Yeah, I can't keep a green hat in peace.
It was a pleasure, guys.
I have my green armband.
Lester, you're saying something a while.
Look at Mark, Lester. Look at Mark, Lester, your sister, you know.
Oh. You know,
yes,
I need one, you know.
I can't keep one in peace. Conference is the 20th. You'll be in Jamaica, Lester?
No, my wife will be in Jamaica, though.
Vita, she's representing
me. She's representing
and I must say, I use the platform to say congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. But I must say to you here that Krisha offered me the opportunity to host his divisional conference online last year. And believe me, Krisha, I didn't know that so many people watched that conference. So many people call me, them link me, and they say, boy, good job. And I was like, okay, I didn't even know that so many people were watching it, and they were really enjoying it because Kerensa, you MP Rob, and thing. It was really, really good. So thank you for that opportunity also.
And it also created the way for that sort of setting, because I realized that other people are looking for bloggers like you, right?
Yeah.
But there's a one blogger God,
Oh,
God, right? Oh, God.
Silburn.
Yeah.
I am also a product of Waterford. I moved to Waterford in 1990, the 1st of November, and I lived there for over 13 years, I think.
So where are you now? Where are you based now?
Who?
Where are you based now in Jamaica?
Watcher, yes.
Moving forward.
Krisha, he's not a Ochi man, you know what I'm saying? He's not a Ochi man.
Yeah.
Straight out of Ochi.
Straight out of
Listen, guys, listen. We're going on my yard.
Come on, take care. It was a very good discussion. Very good.
Hold on, Blogging God has a name. Somebody says Charles Oliveira Cote. Quote it.
But Krisha, thank you for this. Thank you for this. And you provide a lot of insight, a lot of information.
Yes.
And my life I come with the starting information and stuff like that. Really good. And we never had this conversation about crime, and we see eye to eye where it is local. It is very local with the crime, and it needs to be addressed that way. Community, home, and then you can solve the wider crime problem. And thank you very much, boss. Thank you.
But what one of the things that I saw came out of this as well at the same time, as I keep saying, is just why we can't. It's there's a saying that we all know what going on, but somehow we can't crush what going on. And before I go, actually, let me just put in what I don't know, just make it up to 12:30 and done. Lifestyle came back and he said Jamaica is a patriarchal country where, along with the family, the state is historically and contemporarily the most crucial purveyor of patriarchy.
Yeah.
And he went further as well by saying definition of matriarch, woman who rules or dominates a family, group, or state, specifically a mother who is head and ruler of her family, and descendants or grandmother was the family's matriarch. So all I can say is let's see if we can make a better Jamaica.
Yeah,
anybody have a response to that?
And I think that for the most part, most of us want, a lot of us want a better Jamaica.
Yeah.
And for what I've seen is that all of us tend to promote the negative about Jamaica. Where I'm working, I have a new job now that I started on Thursday, and there's this guy from Dominican Republic. He could tell me everything negative about Jamaica. I mean, him love it. He talk about Dodo Center, about this, but him knows King, him know everybody. He's a younger guy, but I'm saying, for me, when I'm promoting Jamaica, I always promote the best of Jamaica, and we tend to verbiate the negative things about Jamaica too much.
Well, Lester, I always seem to promote the best of. I can say one thing. I always seem to promote the best of Jamaica, which is yourself, me. Straight out the Ochi. That's all I promote. Yes, Krisha, you're saying.
We, as I said, we promote the negative. And the truth is that people will say what gets the most attention. Krisha is doing a good job in Waterford. Silburn is doing a good job. People expect you to do a good job.
Yes.
But they don't expect you to do a bad job. So the minute you do a bad job, it hit the news. And so if you look at our paper or media, if you look at the cover, it's always what is negative that is trending on the covers of our news. Right? You will never see this sort of discussion to say that Chrissy had a discussion here, and so on, and less than, and some Jamaica with Fern, and so it's a beautiful, beautiful setting, etc. You'll probably see that Chrissy made a controversial statement that guns were issued in Waterford by entertainers. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, hear the positive stuff. So it's easier to sell negative than positive, right? I was looking at some statistics earlier, and Jamaica, you know, people pick on Jamaica, but you look on the UK, right? And I look at a statistic for the 2020, what is this? Right? 106,000 people missing in the UK for 2021. Missing, can't be found.
Yes.
But hold on, in the same UK, Krisha, in the same UK,
Yes.
when you look at the black communities in terms of crime, and you look at some of the white communities, the white communities have 4 times the amount of crime. 4 times than the black community, you know. But
they don't publicize the white community because they don't want to damage the image of the white community.
Yeah, they always talk about the black community and the knife crime, isn't it?
Yeah.
Black and black. You don't hear white and white crime, do you? Ever heard about white and white crime?
No.
Okay. Silver, hear this. 64,851 people goes missing in India every month. 64,000 every month. Right? World Population Review statistic. Right? But if you hear somebody go missing in Jamaica, it hit the news, international news. Right?
But Krisha, when you look at the amount of young ladies, you see, and like DP and I had this conversation, I must have classism and stuff like that, right? But when I look at, like, I think it was 6, like every day or every week, 6 girls go missing, right? But they make it seem like Siklina or Donnelly are the only type of girls go missing. But when I look at the amount of girls go missing per week in Jamaica, it's very high. It's not just one blue moon situation. It's just that these girls usually have a high profile on social media, you know. But the female abuse thing.
And I remember a case in there's a case in Independence City where a taximan picked up this girl.
I used to live in Independence City, Winding Trail, many years ago. I used to live in Independence City, Winding Trail.
So you're familiar with the space. She went bus stop to catch you.
Yeah. And I just passed that stinky place there. There's a stinky place.
That's fixed. It's fixed.
It's fixed.
We're fixing things. It's fixed. Right at the top of Waterford. You know, they used to say, you know, when you reach Waterford, the Leicester. You know, we come up far away. We have come up far away. So I was saying that the girl went missing, and it was reported, and because of her, I think fairly because of her looks. You know, she's eye complexion, pretty girl. And she got missing, and it hit the news and it become viral. But that girl from country got missing, and you know, really hear nothing about it. You know, because she look a bit black. We come back.
Was that the one with the mechanic? Was that the one where the mechanic killed her?
Yes, that one. Yeah. Right. And so I'm saying that if I look a black girl from rural Jamaica go missing, you don't really hear about it. But because of complexion, you know, it magnifies the issue. The Chinese man in where's it, Hanover, that they killed the other day. Big news. Look how much black man them a kill. And I don't see any SSP come on TV and say, oh, we're trying not to do this and we're beefing up security because you're black, but you kill one Chinese man and you beef up security because I'm Chinese man dead. Right?
And you're not sort of putting down the death. Like to say you're belittling the death. You're just balancing out the whole thing, isn't it?
I believe in equality. Equal rights and justice, Lester, is our everlasting song, right? Yes. Unity and progress, right?
Yes.
So we'll make a nation strong. So I believe in equality. So if you're gonna lobby for the Chinese man and you're gonna put resources in place to protect the Chinese community or the Russian community or whichever community in Jamaica, put it in place to protect the black people, right?
The people of the land. people of the land.
Everybody deserve justice.
But you see
Everybody.
what you say important now, Silburn. What he said is important. So if the
Mm.
black community feel vulnerable, right, that there's a void, who you think are gonna step in and defend the black community them in Jamaica then? The criminal them. So you create
And there you go. And there you go.
And then the people gonna and then the people are gonna say, them are our defender, them our provider, them protect we.
So watch me, Silburn. Let's
Yeah.
just touch upon a top, a little point, right?
Yeah.
When I did my research, the private security industry came into being, right? Well, the Private Security Act was 1992, but the private security industry started before that. And it came into being because the government could not provide security, sufficient security. So they needed a substitute. And so the private security came into being. What am I saying? There is insufficient police officers to protect all of us. And so what you find is that private sector and some people from private sector will partner with the bad man and the bad woman to be their response service, right? Or their response agents, right? Because when you call on the police don't have the resources to respond, or they're too busy trying to investigate who killed Tom from when. And so they call upon the bad man, and the bad man make one call and the problem solved. So that there's a wide gap there to be filled. There is a huge gap to be filled where government will have to provide that sort of injection within the JCF and the JDF to reignite that from private sector into the JCF and JDF.
Yeah.
Right.
Guys, I think this is a topic which is going to keep going on for a long time, and we're going to keep going on and touching it a bit more and more. And I believe we have got to do it until we sort of break the back of crime, and everybody and all stakeholders will have to play a part in that. Krisha Holmes, I wish you all the success with your ventures and your political quest as you pave the way to become the Prime Minister of Jamaica. And Lester.
Silburn. If
say
Kush become Prime Minister of Jamaica, right? He'll be the first Indian Prime Minister.
I'm just with my perking up.
On that note, me gone. God. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Lester. Thank you, Silver.
Peace out. All the best.
Good
evening.
evening.
All right. Cheers. Respect.
Good. All right.
Listen. Yeah, all the best, man. Thanks.
It was a nice discussion.
Yeah, and thanks for linking Krishna as well. That was good. And hope that people grab the message. And also for Kanye West bit, I just hope that people don't see it about Kanye West per se, but about the
message.
Our people really working together, really coming together, and not be hoodwinked by the media trying to what they call it, a divide and rule. That's what they're trying to do at the same time. And I keep saying to people all the while, we are the mainstream media, because the funny thing about it is this, and I'll say this: without the basketball players, there's no basketball team, right? Without the musicians and the artists, these guys have nothing. And therefore, if all the black people recognize this and say, okay, we're going to go through a period of, and this is what we're going to go through a period of our salaries and all those things are going to dip for a while, but we're going to have to taper things out for a bit. Like with Kanye West, okay, $1 billion, okay, it dropped. Get some ownership in, get things in place, and then we build ourselves up back. We can only win. We can only win.
And you know, Silburn, look at the message of Marcus Garvey. Is it any different than the message of Kanye West?
Up you mighty race. Up you mighty race.
Let us be self-sufficient.
Yes.
You know,
Up
I mean, let us look at the message of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all of these guys. That's what they're saying.
Listen, Farrakhan came out in support of Kanye West big time, and my good friend what's his name? Ian Lynn was actually putting out some videos there, and I was listening to Farkan, and Farkan really
Which
was
Ian
telling me.
that?
I was saying Ian man from
What one? Is it the car sale?
yeah, which they said that he's
Bridget,
involved with. Huh?
Oh, Bridget, you know?
Yeah, man, I'm a virgin man. I call him
Bridget,
sometime.
man.
Yeah, and he was just really, Farkan was really breaking things down, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I just think that, as a matter of fact, I'm starting up something which is called the Men's Factor. I think I spoke to you about that, the Men's Factor,
Yeah.
whereby you know, uplifting ourselves, you know, really uplifting ourselves and have that sense of identity, sense of knowing who we are, because I believe that is where it is lacking. If we don't know who we are, then anything can come and twist us all over the place.
But you see it still burn, you know, the black communities them where the youth them are bleach, youth them are stab one another, youth them have no ambition because they don't have a bar to look up to say, you know, this is what I want to be. So it I think it is on us. It's really on us to provide that.
Yeah.
What would that viewing that visual to them. Also education, because like when a person like me who can articulate about certain things or certain historical figures or you know, and yourself because of the age and the era that we are coming out of. But
speak for yourself when you say age. Speak for yourself when you say age.
Yeah, man.
The young man, is it? No gray hair, nothing. Clean.
Even if you didn't want gray hair, you couldn't have the gray hair. You know? You know, when I see what our young men are dressing like and becoming, you know, are looking, and I'm saying, who like you have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm saying, as a father, you must look and say, what kind of man is going to be available for my daughter?
Yeah.
You know, where's the pedigree she's going to pick from? You know, what home is he coming from? What is out there? And so you can't even blame the women them to be strong, independent women. You know, it's a very it's a very touchy situation.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
I don't know. But we have to continue.
Yes. And we have to do the bits that we can do at the same time. Set our legacy, leave our legacy behind. Lester, Virgin, boom.
Thanks every week. You know, people can join us here.
Yes.
And
Saturday night.
Yeah.
All right. Respect. Cheers.
Big up.
Big up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. And it was a long show. It was 2.5 hours. Wow, 2.5 hours. Imagine. Normally the show just goes on having these conversations. I believe something that they say that the span of concentration of holding person's attention goes in light of social media now, because the span of concentration of person is so limited that people are not getting serious messages through, because everything is like in 1 minute 30 seconds, something 5 seconds. You got to get this message in. But I was watching during the course of the whole period of COVID and the vaccine thing and the anti-vax and all those sort of things, persons were pushing out messages, and they were like hours, and yet they were following, lots of people following them. And I want to encourage persons to really come against that stereotypical thing now, which is saying the span of concentration is so short, because we've got to get into deep thinking, deep articulation, serious discourse, the way to use words that free us. Because many things is of the microwave mentality. It's quick fix. Most of it is fake. And one of the things that we heard about tonight is that many people are trying to live up to this expectation, or trying to compete with someone who is not really there. They're trying to compete with a person or a figure on social media, and when you check it out, they don't really exist, because they're also fabricating themselves to be what they think they are, but they are not. And then you are actually trying to be or to follow or to compete or try to emulate with someone who is not real. So therefore, take the mask off. It's all a fake. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. My name is Silver. Talk and Sip, Saturday night. Peace out. Boom.